All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Matt Lundquist, and this is Biostats, which is Bio 218, Summer 1. So what I wanted to do was just record this really quick introductory video to introduce myself, as well as introduce the Brightspace page and navigate you through some of the stuff you're going to need to be able to do to start off this class. So first off, from the MMC website, you can just click right here on this link that says Brightspace, and it will bring you right to the Brightspace homepage. Now this is the faculty one, so I'm going to have to change the way this looks. But what you should see right here in the center, all the classes that you are enrolled in the summer. Make sure you're in summer session 1, 2022. And then what you do is you click on Summer Session 1, Biostats. It'll be this forest looking icon here. You click on that. And I'm going to switch over to the view as a student. And so it should look something like this for you. So you see here on the top, we have that forest, Summer Session 1, 2022, Biostatistics. And we'll have a bunch of pages here on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, I have a short summary of the course. So make sure to read this. There's also a bunch of really helpful links that you should definitely check out. But let's take a look here on the left-hand side. You'll see 4 boxes. We have the introduction syllabus, we have the videos, we have portfolios, which are your assignments, and the quizzes. If you click on any of these, you want to make sure to click on the forest. Don't click on this link here. Click on the forest itself. Click on that. Let's say introduction and syllabus. This will bring you to the content tab. And as you see here on the right-hand side, here's the introduction and a link to the syllabus. So make sure to read through this entire introduction and make sure to click on the syllabus and read through that. So let's say we want to download the syllabus. You click on this link here, it says syllabus, and it will ask you to download a .docx. So what I do is I'm going to put in my documents. I already have it here, but I'm going to save it, and I'll replace it. And so now down here, you'll see it's saved. You can click on that, and it will open up in whatever word processor you use, and here is the syllabus. Make sure to read through the syllabus really carefully. Notice that there is a required textbook. It's Whitlock and Schulter, The Analysis of Biological Data, 3rd edition. The 2nd edition is okay, but I want to let you know that I take a lot of questions for the quizzes from the textbook. So the questions do show up in the back of the chapters that we're dealing with. So I'm going to be pulling questions from the 3rd edition, not the 2nd edition. So be forewarned about that. I do suggest that you get the ebook. There is a print copy, but if you want to rent or buy the ebook, that's going to be a whole lot more cost effective. But the book itself isn't horribly expensive, at least as far as textbooks go. All right, so definitely read through the syllabus really carefully. There are going to be only 2 major grading points in this entire class. You're going to have the quizzes, which is 40% of your grade, and then you're going to have statistics portfolio, which is 60%, which we'll talk about in a minute. So definitely read through this really carefully and make sure to pay attention to what we're going to go to next, which is the calendar. So zip through here. Please make sure to read through everything in the syllabus. We go all the way to the bottom here. We have our schedule. This schedule is pretty much set in stone, and while there are some due dates, you can work at your own pace week to week. And so let's say our first week, which is 523 to 527, you're going to be looking through chapters 1, 2, and 3, which is Introduction to Biostatistics and Dealing with Data, both summary statistics and working on plots. There will be a number of assignments due at the end of the week, as well as a number of quizzes. And all of those portfolios, all those assignments are actually already up on Brightspace, and the quizzes will be up week to week. So one thing I suggest, and I'll be sending out announcements quite a lot to remind you that these quizzes exist, but my suggestion is to take the quizzes at the very end of your reading, so but not at the end of the week. So let's say you read chapter 1. Read chapter 1, do the portfolio, and then do the quiz. This can be over the course of a few hours, this can be over the course of a few days. That's perfectly fine. But one thing I absolutely advise against is waiting to the end of the week to do all the quizzes. It's going to be really hectic. The quizzes are timed, so you might find yourself at a loss dealing with those quizzes. So make sure to manage your time well and don't wait for the very end of the week to do all of your assignments. All of the topics are all here in the schedule. And to help you out a bit, the textbook chapters aren't meant to be read cover to cover. I provide very short but informative lecture videos that are associated with all of the chapters, all the portfolios, all the content. And the textbook is meant for a guide. And while it's extremely important that you read the textbook, you don't necessarily have to read every single section. There may be sections that we skip over. There may be sections that are really basic and you've already basically know this stuff by taking your college level math. So that's the syllabus. So let's exit out of that. And now the next tab are the videos. And this is probably where we're going to spend most of your time. So we go to the video tab. We have 2 sets of videos that I've produced. I have the lecture videos, which I have here as biostatistics videos, and then I have a bunch of R tutorial videos. We're going to be using R as our main statistical programming language and our main statistical program. We're not going to be using calculators, not going to be using Excel, we're not going to be using any of the other programs out there. We're going to be using R, and R is great because it is free, and once you get into it, it's actually pretty easy to use. But first, let's take a look at the biostatistics videos. You notice down here we have week 1, right from the schedule. And I have a bunch of videos here that I want you to watch. These are all the titles of the videos. So what is statistics, populations and samples, etc., etc. So if we go to Biostats videos, I'm going to right click, I'm going to say open link in new tab. This will actually navigate you away from Brightspace. And I'll put you on my personal website that I have posted all of these videos. All these videos are actually freely available on YouTube, so you can actually watch this on YouTube as well if you want. But if you scroll down, you'll see all of the videos from the entire class are on this one page. And so here you see the title, What is Statistics? We look back, okay, what is statistics? That's the first video I want you to watch. And so you go through all these videos. So we have what is statistics, populations and samples, sampling bias and sampling error, etc., etc., all the way through to standard error and confidence intervals. Now, one thing you might be thinking, these videos are crazy. There's so many of them. Well, I designed these on purpose to be very easily digestible. So for example, what is statistics? If I start playing this, you'll notice, pause to here, it's 53 seconds long. Very few of these videos, at least these lecture videos, are individually very long. They usually run between a minute and 5 minutes. And the reason for this is that I want you, one, I want you to actually watch the videos, but two, I want you to be able to re-watch them, especially when you're working on your portfolios, so that you can quickly find the information you need, and you don't need to just sit through an entire lecture to figure out, okay, I forgot how to do a mean. Instead, you just go to the lecture that is specifically for means and watch that one again. So and they're short, so there's absolutely no excuse not to watch these. Okay, so if we go back, so those are the Biostats videos, and you can see I have all of the weeks assigned videos here. So always come back and reference this if you're not sure which videos you should be watching in which week. And then I also have a set of our tutorial videos. If you click on that link, this brings you back to my personal website into a different page here, so our tutorials. And here, there's a bunch of stuff that you may find useful for particular portfolios. You'll have to come back here and reference pretty constantly to figure out, okay, which videos are where. If you have questions about how to do things, the first thing to do is look at these art tutorials. The second thing to do is to email me directly, and I'll be able to help you out. So the first video you absolutely should watch is how to install R in RStudio. This is something that's really important. You're going to need to be able to do this because all of the portfolios are written in R. So you're going to have to download R, you're going to have it. I have links here on where to download R. I also suggest that you download RStudio. This is a program that you use to actually work in R, and it's really user-friendly and honestly is probably the best R-based programming workspace. So definitely read through or watch this video. It doesn't matter if you have a Mac, PC. I'm actually here on Linux, so it doesn't really matter what your operating system is. R will run on it, RStudio will run on it. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns when downloading or starting up R in RStudio, please feel free to send me an email. One thing to note when you start or when you download R and RStudio and you start it up, if you are a PC user, if you have Windows 10 or 11, you should be good to go. If you're a Mac user, it'll ask you something about installing Xcode. You can just say no. You can if you want, but it's going to be a pretty long download, so you can just ignore that. Just say no and install it. One thing to note, if anyone has a particularly old MacBook, anything older than like 2013, you may have some issues installing the most recent version of RStudio. And if that's the case, please let me know. I have a workaround for you. So if you just look down these through these videos, we have writing and working with R scripts, also absolutely imperative. Watching, definitely watch this video. And then importing data, basic plotting. So all of this stuff will be really helpful when you're working on your portfolios. Now, what are those portfolios? So your portfolios are here. We have a link here that says portfolio, see assignments. Well, the thing about Brightspace is that you can't put assignments in content. It has to be in assignments. So if we go up to this tab here, it says assignments. Click on that. You will be greeted with all of the portfolios and their due dates. And so here's the portfolio 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 11. So there's 11 portfolios. Some of them are a bit longer than others. And the first 3 portfolios, so 1, 2, and 3, all associated with chapters 1, 2, and 3, are due on May 27th. But feel free to get them done before then. Don't wait to the very end of the week to do these assignments, and don't wait until the end of the week to do the quizzes. So let's say we want to work on portfolio 1, and we've already installed R and RStudio. Click on this link, and it will ask you to download it. It's a .r file, and so I'm going to save it. One thing I suggest doing is make yourself a brand new folder and call it Biostats. And this is where you're going to keep all of your R scripts. And so we're going to save that as portfolio 1R. Okay, it's down here. And then I'm going to show it in the folder. Okay, so portfolio 1R, you want to make sure that it's going to open in RStudio. There's different ways of doing this in different operating systems, but as long as you've installed R first and then installed RStudio, then it should, our files should open automatically. in RStudio. So I'm going to double click on that. And what that did is opened up RStudio, which I will show you. Here, I'm going to this, and I'll bring it over here. And so here is RStudio, at least my version of RStudio. And RStudio has these 4 windows, and you're really just going to hang out in 3 of them. So here on the top left is our R script, and this will be our R portfolio. You see this is portfolio1.r, biostats portfolio 1. One thing to do, make sure to do always with these portfolios, put your name. Because if everyone submits to me portfolio _01.r, I may forget whose portfolio it is. I'm going to do my best to keep a file for every single student, but it's really helpful to make sure that you have your name on all of these files. Okay, and then what you will see here is a bunch of green. And this green is all of these lines that start with these number symbols, or pound signs, or hashtags, whatever you want to call them. And what these are called comments. And basically, it's just space to write where R doesn't know, it doesn't think there's any sort of programming instructions. And so whenever you want to write just what we call plain text, or just words in English, you want to always start it with a number symbol. So you can write anything you want in that particular space, and R will not read it, which is perfectly fine. You're not going to get any sort of errors or anything. So any sort of answers that you're giving that are like short answer, or any sort of text answers that I'm asking for in these portfolios, for example, in the space below, contrast samples and populations, parameters and estimates, you want to write all of that with these comments. And actually, this entire portfolio 1 is all in comments. There's actually no R script at all. But let's go to the very bottom here. Let's say you wanted to do something in R that you wanted R to read. Let's say you wanted to take you wanted to figure out what 2 plus 2 is. You can write that 2 plus 2, and notice here that the 2 is now blue. And we don't have a number symbol. If I go up here, if I have the cursor here right in front of the 2, and then I click run, something happened in the bottom left. So bottom left, this is our actual R console. This is actually R working in our computer. And what this did, if I click run, it actually sent this command, 2 plus 2, down to this bottom left console, and it ran it. To be honest, R is, as basic core, a calculator, a glorified calculator. And if you see down here on the bottom left, we have 2 plus 2, which is our command, and then we have an output, which it says 1 and then 4. And so don't worry about what this sort of 1 in square brackets is, but this 4 is the answer to our equation 2 plus 2. And I can do maybe 2 plus 2 minus 1. We run that, and that's 3. So, and if you notice, R is running these things. Now, let's say I don't want R to be able to run this. I put a dollar or a number symbol. Yeah, a number symbol or a hashtag in front of, or a comment in front of the 2 plus 2 minus 1. I go to run that, nothing happens. Just blank at the bottom here. It's kind of it's spitting out that comment, but it's not running anything. And so if I want the command to run, I remove that comment. If I don't want it to run, I put in the comment. Most of the errors that you'll get in R will be because you didn't comment something properly. So always proofread your portfolios to make sure that the things that you want commented are commented, and the things that you actually want to run are not commented. And this will take quite a bit of practice. So don't worry if you don't get it immediately. Okay. Now, once you're done with the with editing your R script and it works, make sure that once you're done with your editing your R script and everything runs without an error, you can save it, either Control S or File, Save, and then what you want to do is go back to Brightspace, and you're going to want to submit your assignment. And you're going to want to do is you want to go down to Add File, My Computer, Upload, or you can drag and drop, and you want to go to your documents, go into Biostats, and then you want to submit your portfolio 1, the .r. And that's fine, because what I'll do, then I will download it, and then I will test it on my computer to make sure it works. The great thing about R is that as long as you write the script correctly and it's commented correctly, I should be able to run it instantly and make sure everything is working. It's really, really great. And you can send it to anyone else, and they should be able to run it as long as they had R in their computer. So we add that, and there we go. That's submit. That's added, and then we hit submit, and then the assignment is submitted. And you're going to do this for all of your portfolios. And if you have any issues with the portfolios, please feel free to send me an email. But the best thing to do is send either a copy paste of the error along with your R script, because usually I can go in and I can find the errors pretty quickly. But make sure you send me exactly what your R script is at that moment, and I'll be able to help you out. And I'll do my best to get back to you within 24 hours of any technical issues that you might run into. Now, the only other place that you need to make sure to go in this class is the quizzes. And right now, quizzes is actually empty. I haven't put the quizzes up yet, but I will be putting up the quizzes week to week. So the first 3 quizzes, so there'll be a quiz for every chapter, will be up on Brightspace the week that they are assigned, so that you can run through them that week, and you're not tempted to go ahead, or you get lost in what quizzes are due and which ones are not. As with the assignments, as with the portfolios, make sure that your quizzes don't pile up. Make sure to do the quizzes as you are going through the content, and don't wait to the end of the week to do all 3 or however many there are, or you're not going to have a great time. The quizzes will be timed, and they are usually between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on the content. If the quizzes are mostly conceptual, therefore not a lot of math, they'll probably be 15 minutes. If there's a lot of math, you're more than welcome to use R while taking the quizzes. I actually highly suggest it, and you just provide the R code that you used in the quiz. But that one, I'll give you at least 30 minutes to make sure that you have time to actually do the calculations. So definitely pay attention to the time limits for each of the quizzes, because they will not all be the same. And that's pretty much it. So this course is, I provide you with a lot of information, but a lot of it is going to require your diligence and your time management. I'm going to be available via email to answer any questions that you have, but this is an online asynchronous class. Therefore, it's really up to you, the student, to manage your time wisely, to do the assignments, do the quizzes in a timely manner, and make sure that you do the readings, and you do all the assignments in a timely manner. I'm very much looking forward to working with you all this summer and working through these R scripts. And what's going to be really nice is by the end of this course, you're going to have not only a decent understanding of statistics, but you're also going to have a whole portfolio of R scripts to bring with you for the rest of your career. And having skills in statistics and having skills in computer programming and having skills in R in particular are extremely marketable, and looks great on a CV. So I look forward to this semester, and as I said before, if you have any questions, either at the very beginning or while you're working through your portfolios, I'm always available via email. My email is mlundquist@mmm.edu. That email is in the syllabus. That email is also in this introduction right here. A bunch of links that you might need are here as well. So everything you need is on Brightspace. So good luck, and I'm looking forward to working with you all this summer.